Good morning and welcome back. Thanks for taking time out of your day to come watch this video once a week. Uh, Last week I mentioned about talking about labels today. We can call it labels, we can call it titles. Uh, we all have a title and we all wear labels. A lot of times labels are more of a source of identity, what we try to identify with, whereas a title is kind of encompassed by who we are, what we do, what our profession is, or whatever. So I want to share a story with a friend of mine, or about a friend of mine. Recently, this friend of mine's a Christian, and he had this Christian friend at church, of all places, that had committed to help him do a project. And the guy hardly showed up. He didn't carry through with his promise to help him. And my friend was kind of upset about it, that he couldn't commit, that he couldn't follow through with his commitment. And he was kind of stressed because this guy was a Christian, or claimed to be a Christian. So that's kind of how I got the source of this idea today. So this talk is mostly for people who consider themselves Christians, followers of God. If you're not that, then, I'm glad you're here listening, but I just want to address people of like faith who wear a title or a label, and that's pretty much all it is. So anyway, this friend of mine was upset, and he was like, this guy's calling himself a Christian, and he's not even able to follow through with his commitments to me. He's setting a bad example, etc., etc. So let's talk about labels, or titles. We all have a title. Some examples are teacher, coach, doctor, supervisor. We all have titles. And everybody knows what those titles encompass for the most part. We all know what is expected. There are some certain expectations that people have if you have a title, okay? Especially if you're a Christian, people tend to put you under a social microscope even more, because they watch every move you make so they can find a flaw in your life because, hey, you're supposed to be perfect, or in their eyes, So be careful as a Christian, because people are watching, people are listening how you talk, watching what you do. We're all human, we all make mistakes. Just know that people are watching. If you are a supervisor in a position of responsibility, people are watching your leadership skills to see how you lead. In my situation, and probably yours as well, supervisors or bosses who listen to what you say and take that in consideration, who jump in and help you work and are not afraid to work as a team. They're the ones who are most respected, those who treat you with respect. Let's talk about Romans 12. Romans 12 says early on, to not be conformed to the pattern of this world. As a Christian, it's talking to Christians, but instead be renewed by spending time with God and His Word. So this is basically to address supposed Christians who wear the title Christian, but fall very short of that. I know this friend of mine whose husband has her kid in all kinds of sports activities. Christian family. Yeah, I'm using quotes, but anyway, my wife gets mad when I do that. But Anyway, she's from a Christian family, and her kid is in all kinds of sports activities, and told me one day that her husband got her kid all upset because he didn't perform well in his sports, and he was really pushing it on his kid, and his kid was crying about it. So I went to her and I said, listen, I said, tell your husband that when Bobby stands in front of God to be judged, God's not going to ask Bobby, how many trophies have you got? How many awards did you win? He's going to say, what did you do for me? Because at that time in life, nothing else is going to matter. It's only what we do for God that matters. So she thought, wow, that's really good. I need to tell him that. So that should be our mindset all the time, What if somebody, for example, were your name, okay? What if you were a professional decorator, like Joanne Gaines, for example, and people had heard about you on the internet, but they'd never seen your face, but they knew you were, really good at what you did, and they wanted to pay you to come to their house to fix their house and make it look pretty. Let's say, for example, you were that person, but you took your name tag off and you give it to somebody you went to school with that tried to be a decorator but really did a horrible job at it and had a horrible reputation. Well, if that person had your name tag, instead of you going to fill that job request, what if they went and had your name and did a horrible job for those people? And how would that make you feel? In other words, somebody else is trying to live up to your reputation. Somebody else is wearing your label or your name or your title, and but doing a sorry job. Okay, now think about Jesus. As Christians, we wear his name every day. We wear the title Christian. So we're supposed to honor his name and the church in everything we do. I would not like it, not that I'm the greatest person in the world, but if somebody took my name, or if it was on the internet that somebody by my name got arrested for whatever reason, and people were calling me and checking on me, that would make me look bad because, it's my name out there, even though it wasn't me. But anyway, we wear God's name every day. And as a Christian, it's not like a sticker you can peel off and put it over here at your convenience and just pick it back up on Sunday and say, okay, I'm going to wear this label or this name tag on Sunday, but then put it over here on the shelf the rest of the week. I wanted to talk to you about a very special book that's helped me a great deal in life, and it's called All In by Mark Batterson. If you struggle with, being 100% 24/7 Christian, then I would highly suggest reading that book. It's very intense. In fact, we may do a short series on it, but keep in mind today that we wear labels, we wear titles, and if you're a doctor, if you're a minister, if you're whatever you are, I'm sure you want to do a good job at it and have a good reputation. I want to leave you today with thinking that as a Christian, you wear God's name and everybody sees it. And if we truly live like Romans 12 and do not be conformed to the pattern of this world, but we're transformed by the renewing of our minds, if you really live that, either live it or take the label off. There's no gray area with God. You're either in or you're out. His word tells us not to be lukewarm, but to be on fire for him. So think about that this week and try to go out there and make God proud of you. Thanks again for taking time to listen to this. I hope God plants something in your mind that you can use in this video. God bless and have a good day.
Maybe midnight or midday, never early